Harare, and she joins us live. Sophie, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. The deadline for him to step down was midday, which has come and gone. Are we any clearer on what happens next? What's the latest, Sophie?
Well, Natasha, I can confirm that indeed the deadline has expired, but President Robert Mugabe, no word from him and no resignation. And we are told that this afternoon, the Zanu-PF members of Parliament and members of the Senate will have a meeting today to pave a way forward. You are aware that yesterday an announcement was made that if he doesn't step down by midday today, the parliamentary process will kick in. We have just discovered that the chief whip of the party of the Zanu-PF has already submitted a motion to the Speaker of Parliament today, and tomorrow we expect the Parliament to convene and the motion to be tabled before Parliament. Thereafter, on Wednesday, the committee that will be tasked with this process will then be constituted, and that will be the parliamentary process as far as President Robert Mugabe is concerned, because he didn't resign today. The second issue this morning, the veterans held a media briefing where they made it clear that tomorrow they are going to converge and they have mobilized people to protest. The other issue is that civil society have called for mass action on Wednesday, and actually they've called for a complete shutdown. The other interesting issue that has come up is that the university behind me this morning, the students were supposed to write exams, but they refused to write exams, saying that President Robert Mugabe must resign.
All right, Sophie, what does all this mean for the people of Zimbabwe? Because they need to have a say in what happens next. And the question is Emmerson Mnangagwa the right person to carry the country into its future? And what kind of future are we looking at here, Sophie?
Well, the people today, they are back at work, but I guess they are waiting to hear from the leadership, different political parties, NGOs, activists, in terms of what needs to be done. The second issue is about Emmerson Mnangagwa. Emmerson Mnangagwa was elected the vice president. I remember I was at that Congress when Joyce Mujuru had a very tough time at that Congress. He was very close to President Robert Mugabe, but as we often say in politics, there are no permanent friends and there are no permanent enemies. And this time around, I guess, much as Mnangagwa can still demonstrate respect to the veteran leader, but I'm pretty sure they are not friends right now.
And then the other issue, Sophie, is what do the prospects of Grace Mugabe and others like her look like now?
Well, of course, you are aware that yesterday the Central Committee of Zanu-PF took a decision to expel her as the member of the party, but also as the leader of the women's movement. Therefore, currently, in terms of the party structures, she has been expelled, but we are told that President Robert Mugabe yesterday told the generals that the process that was followed in terms of all the decisions that were taken at the Central Committee yesterday was flawed, in a sense that he is saying that the 10 provinces that took a decision that he be recalled and making all those recommendations to expel those who support him was flawed, in a sense that people who presided over those meetings in provinces, some of them were not legitimate and others didn't even correct or form a quorum. Secondly, the Central Committee meeting yesterday couldn't correct because the 6 leadership or the 6 members of the Central Committee were not there, and it is for that reason he is saying that the process was illegitimate, and he indicated that he is going to preside over the conference on the 12th to the 17th of December, and it depends if he has got numbers at that conference. The conference is the highest decision-making gathering. Yes, the Central Committee can make recommendations which are binding, but the conference has a right to ratify or dismiss any decision taken by the Central Committee. Therefore, I think his hope is that he is going to have numbers at the conference and he can overturn all the decisions. So it's up to the other faction to ensure that they have numbers at the conference. And the other issue that I want to highlight is that the veterans are going to institute a court case where they want the Defense Force action be declared legitimate. They are saying that by his own admission, President Robert Mugabe yesterday indicated that the action of the Defense Force was legitimate.
All right, Sophie, thank you so much for that. For now, we'll leave it there, but I'm sure we'll keep a close eye on things happening.